Hola everyone. Um, it's me, Giovanni. Today I'm going to be talking on our third discussion activity. I'm going to be answering the questions: what is your opinion on the importance of learning Spanish and becoming bilingual, and what are the benefits? I think to the majority of most people, the most primary and basic benefit of learning a secondary language is obvious from a business standpoint. Um, it opens up many pathways to finding a job, because there's that option to connect with another person, and you're able to sell a product or sell a business to someone or something like that. So having that doorway open and saying that you're capable of doing such a thing is only ever going to help you, and I feel like that's something that most people approach that with. But for me, I have more of a personal dynamic when it comes to trying to learn Spanish. Um, Now, this could go for pretty much any language, but for me, on both sides of my family, they're Spanish speakers. And the thing is that my mom's side of the family, they've all pretty much, I don't want to say died out, but it's the truth. They've all pretty much died. And um, I was never able to make a connection with any of them because none of them knew English. And the thing is, my first language was actually Spanish. But then I failed first grade, and I had to go to like a linguist school or something, and they taught me how to speak English, but in the process, I completely forgot how to speak Spanish. Um, and since then, I haven't been able to learn it at all. My parents have hired tutors. I've had to take several Spanish classes in various schools that I've attended. Um, but there's some block. There's something like missing that's not connecting, that I'm having issue grasping the language. And I'm in this odd situation where I don't want to refer to it as a ticking time bomb, but now I'm slowly losing the other half of my family. And it's this very awkward situation where they know me because when I was a child, like adolescent, I spoke fluent Spanish, and they miss that connection with me. And I don't want to seem distant with them, but I literally can't speak to them. We try. There's usually a situation where my mom or my father have to end up translating what they're saying and then what I'm saying and stuff like that. Um, but then, it also gets to a point where they don't want to do that, and they're just like, you should learn Spanish already. You've been trying all these years. And it's just not grasping. And for me, I feel that learning a secondary language, whether it's Spanish or any other language, it's very important for connecting with other people. Not just from a business standpoint, but there's literally a whole world of people that, you know, we are missing out on just because of something as simple as dialect. Um, and it could open a lot of gates that we weren't even aware of, that we didn't understand or that we were ignorant to, just because of something as so simple as we literally couldn't understand their language. Um, and I feel that, there's nothing but net positives for the entire situation. The entire world would benefit from me being able to connect to someone instantly. I mean, that's the whole point of technology, and the step above that is literally us talking. Like, it's literally our direct, most foremost way of connecting with someone aside from a visual level. And the only reason why that's the case is because visuals tend to be the first thing we take in before we take dialogue or personality and stuff like that. Um, so learning Spanish, especially in Florida, where we have a large Spanish population, um, there's the added benefit of finding a job, but also it opens a whole new world for you know giant groups of people that previously you would never interact with, just because you literally couldn't. And that will only ever be a positive. no one could ever really approach that and say like, no, that there's some negative aspects to that. Like, not like, even if the person you're talking to ends up being a bad person, you can only find that out by interacting with them and knowing who they are. And the only way you know that is by speaking their language and understanding them, like beyond the most basic level. Um, and the only way to broach that is through a secondary language and learning how to communicate with them. So, you know, to summarize, I guess, learning a secondary language like Spanish is important for finding a job, especially in Florida where we have a lot of Spanish communities. But I also think that it's important because it opens the world to us and it allows us to connect to other people and to connect to other experiences. And learning from those experiences are only going to make us better people. Um, and by understanding one another, even like on the most basic level, it's going to make the world a better place. So that's my opinion on learning Spanish. And hopefully by the end of all these courses, I'll have the ability to hold a conversation with the rest of my family on my own terms and on my own 2 feet. So that way, they get to know who I am now, since I'm no longer that person they knew from when I was a kid. Alright, well, you all have a good night.